Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
This is our Let's Talk session where we chill and talk about anything and everything with our subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
We will use curse words and adult themes abundantly. So if you are under 16, please come back later. Here we go. I mean, you're right, Walker. I think us getting excited about a moon have something to do with us being animals in the past. Because
you think that thing's like primal?
I do. I think so. Because I'm reading a lot of Mongol history lately, and Genghis Khan keeps like stressing the importance of the Night Guard within his Keshig, which is his Praetorian Guard, so to speak. I mean, the night invites a lot of things, because the night is where, I can subterfuge and attack you while ridden. And I think that led to our horror stories too. Because we are a creature that is heavily reliant on light, observation of light. Our eyes don't work properly unless we get observation of light. So night is just like just the way like lions see better at night too.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Some animals are nocturnal.
Yeah.
They actually thrive in darkness, while some are terrified.
No, I think most animals, like even the ones that become visually impaired at night, like us, the night just invites just this more animal self, so to speak. I was watching this werewolf video on YouTube. The person said going back century, people became really scared when there was a full moon out in the night. Yeah, I mean, Walker, to answer your question, that's a lot of cultural thing as well as our like inherent like instinct, I think. Because because I gotta be honest, like, Won-Jin, let me ask you something. You and I, we're so used to the city life, right, where there's so many lights. Have you ever like walked off the city?
Yeah, in total darkness.
Yeah.
but the moonlight.
You know what I mean? And
and by the way, it's surprisingly bright. You can actually see the path in the road and everything.
But you know how your whole like mindset changes? Like for me, like as soon as I leave and when I know it's just me and the moonlight, I get fucking intense.
There's this instinctive survival mode that just switches on.
No, listen, Won-Jin, this is how it goes. Chirp, chirp, chirp. What the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that? And then, oh, what the fuck is there? Like, every little thing makes me really, really annoyed, And I don't know though. Hey, Scott Walker, that raises an important question though. Like, how will we behave in a place where there is no night? Don't you think, like, if we do planet-to-planet migration, we might go to this solar system where this planet has, like, 6 suns, like, no night, or the planet is moving too slow where we won't experience these things? I do wonder how we will fare in those lands, though. Scott Walker, sometimes I walk red and the pitch black darkness and dark reserves, and years ago I had my pit bull. Are you still walking him in the dark reserve behind my father's house as well as I was scared too? Oh, fuck yeah. Listen, even like if you notice, like I had a dog too, Scott Walker, so like animals behave differently at night. Like they're more on guard than they are used to before. And I feel like, and here's another thing. Won-Jin, you said you called it primal thing, right? I feel like we haven't changed that much because, like, all these technologies is just a century old at most. Like, I feel like
that's true. I mean, it was completely normal to be in total darkness at night.
Yeah.
Back then, we did not have any city lights or electricity. All you had was like a torch or a lantern.
Yeah. I mean, even like the rustling of the leaves will annoy me, I think. Sometimes my dog, Red, he does get very excited when there's full moon. He gets really excited, and then sometimes he gets a little aggressive. I think that has to do with like wolf hunting behavior, though. Because for them, I think the full moon means they will have a more successful chance to succeed in the hunt.
Yeah, and it's also interesting that the East and the West, we both have these like folk tales or something related to the full moon. And I mean, Scott Walker, you mentioned the werewolves, but in the East, oh no, actually this is not a folk tale. It's Dragon Ball. You know, like Goku, when he sees the full moon, he turns into this giant monkey, giant ape.
No, but that is rooted on our mythology, so that makes sense. Because I feel like this is my theory. Full moon has to do with like hunting success. Like if you're a pack of wolves and you're hunting at night, if there's a full moon, you're just gonna get a wider view of the area around yourself. So I think you will succeed, more likely to succeed in hunting. So I think that gets them excited a lot. Hey, what's up, ZZ? I mean, and there are animals that almost exclusively like behave at night too, you know. Like I mean, I think
like mostly cats.
Yeah,
like all sorts of cats.
They get better visions, not just lions, but generally speaking. Do you like to watch the planes fly at nighttime or during the day? I prefer to watch them at nighttime, but I love to watch them. But there's something about watching planes at night. It's cool.
I love watching planes all the time. You know, when I was young, even still now, the favorite part of going to the airport for me was like seeing those giant airplane tail wings, because they were so massive. And it always fascinated me how something that is so massive and heavy could like fly around in the sky. Like,
I disagree. Fuck you all. It depends on your distance to the plane. You know that? I've been to Jeju Island, and if you see Jeju Island, you know the plane landing is so close to you that you know that. let's just say the pilot is like, fuck this life, and he turns around. You know it, like he or she or them can come towards you. Like if you actually see a plane leave, it's kind of terrifying to me, to be honest. Like it's different from watching it from a distance where you just hear the sound and it's this visual dot above, right? But if you actually see a plane
up close
lift off or land, that's one of the most terrifying thing I ever seen.
And I think, to me, it's kind of majestic because they're so massive. You know how that feeling we got when we saw those dragons in House of the Dragon? You know, the big dragon flying around, and you see it in the background how massive it is. For me, airplane kind of gives me the same feeling. Wow, that is so
Socrates, big. If he's born again, he's gonna have a heart attack every time that thing. What the fuck?
What is this? What is that sorcery?
Yeah. No, but he'll freak out just by the cars and motorcycles, right? No, but like back to Scott Walker's question, playing at night can be beautiful when it's that light moving around.
But I mean, to me, it's just like a beeping light. You know, that green and red light, it's just beeping in the darkness.
No, but I agree with Walker here, where it's kind of like let's say it's from a distance, like Won-Jin and Walker watched it, right? There's this serenity to it too. Like it's just like it's very comforting. You know how the plane just, you know how from especially this the plane moves like this, very steady. I feel like that gives us kind of this illusion of control, just so to speak. When you guys get the chance to look up fact-based, that was Werewolf. Yeah, I want you guys to check out when you get the chance. This was a full moon story drum.
Okay.
No, but like plane, like watching plane can be soothing. But I have a different like answer to the Walker, like because I found like Won-Jin, like when I look at a subway train moving really like normally, that I find that soothing.
Yeah, you know, I also like to watch trains and stuff.
Yeah. So I think that's just part of our instinct to be happy where things are under control, so to speak. Because I love watching trains go by and the sound they make, tudung, 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 tudung. And then once it's gone, I just feel like, oh, it's like a normal part of our daily life. Everything's under control. Everything is safe. I think the plane from a distance give us that illusion. Why are you fucking smiling?
Because I just thought of something completely the opposite. Like everything going out of control. Remember like the first episode of what's it called? The Last of Us?
Yeah.
That airplane crashing down. Yeah. It gives us like this total chaos and terror.
Great grandma got scared when she first saw TV. She started crying and praying, called it the Satan's box. Shout out to your grandma, great grandma. What is it about planes flying at night time that makes them so cursed? Because of the lights and plane flash. Yeah, no, I think it's a lot of things, Walker. I like to sit by the window and stare at the falling on top of surrounding buildings. I just think like I think some of these things that happen around us can be soothing behaviors as long as they are within like expected range.
Yeah.
But
once it goes out of that range, it becomes unsettling.
yeah. I mean, that's so funny though. Like, I think most of us live under the illusion that, you know, we learn certain behaviors. We learn to expect certain things that as long as they are going as expected, we're okay with it. But let's say the train starts honking loudly, right? That's a signal that's supposed to show us that there's something of distress going on. That will freak us out.
Yeah.
What marks the limit?
Well, you know, for example, we talked about trains. Trains becoming derailed or making like unusual noises. That's kind of unsettling.
Yeah, I mean the limit is. That's a very difficult question to answer, Zezzy. I mean, remember in Dark Knight where, you know, the Joker says, if like soldiers kill people, we don't freak out, but a murder happens in the city, everybody loses their mind. I think it has to do with a lot of the information we process during our lifetime for us to determine what is the norm and what is outside of it. And the reason why your question is difficult to answer is because some people actually handle like out of the norm situation better than most. You know, so some people might not freak out when the plane starts to burn down and start going, as long as it's not heading
I've seen
toward
that before in Afghanistan.
Yeah, look at the way Putin handled it. Plane crash. That happens. You know, I used to have this
app that helped me sleep by playing different environmental sounds. Okay.
Oh, but that's a little bit different though, because I think a lot of children also listen to like water falling. A lot of moms actually turn on the nature sound. I think that has to do like that. There's something like very very basic going on there.
It's kind of like the opposite of seeing the full moon. It gives us serenity.
No, because if you think about it, our brain is like a product of evolution, right? So it's for it to change completely. I think it takes a lot of time. I bet it acts in like a way where some sounds and association that is familiar with it is very comfortable. You know, I think that's why we kind of get annoyed and stressful from computer sounds and machinery, because we're not used to that. Our brains don't think that's something like that's been happening for a long time. Because, like, you know, leaves rustling makes me feel comfortable. Leaves rustling, you know how, like, when it's windy and the tree leaves, like, hit each other?
You know, I kind of enjoy the sound of machines, you know, like the computers and stuff, because I think I've been listening to it for so long. Because the first computer I had, I was 7 years old. And I actually miss the old computers boot up, the post-up sounds. Doo-doo-doo. And you can hear like the hard disk drive spinning and searching stuff on the disk. You could feel it. You could feel the vibration and the sound every time it searched something on the hard drive. That was kind of soothing, but now it's just so quiet.
So everybody, Won-Jin will fuck a computer if he has a chance to. But anyway, even a man who is pure at heart and says,
Jin, you're weird.
Become a wolf in my wolf mode. Oh, that has so many fucking layers to the question, though, Walker. Like, I remember the smell of my first computer. Hey, actually, you know what? All jokes aside, Won-Jin, I kind of agree with you on like the machine smell. I think that the sound,
well, not the smell, but the sound.
Okay.
You know, when I smell machine smell, like parts that are being overheated, or you know, the smell from a printer or something, it kind of feels like they're really unhealthy for me. So I don't like that, but I like the sounds.
Scott Walker, do you guys personally believe ghost trains do exist? Years ago, we had a train crashing every year on the day of the accident, and the train appears on the date of its crash. No, but we make our own evils. You know, because I think like a lot of our horror stories come from what I would actually describe as PTSDs. Like, you know how people keep having nightmares and shit? Like, I think a lot of horror stories in the past have to do with the fact that people are were more at war than we are now. You know how they're always constantly on war? Even these farmers are collected to go to war. I just think people just had a lot of fucking traumatic events.
Yeah.
And once they're 32, and when you're living in 1648, that means you're old. Your teeth are all gone, and you're sleeping and drinking from the fucking wine you stole from the fucking church. You're like, fucking, I saw a werewolf. You know, I feel like people would be more prone to those things.
Zezzy, I remember the smell of my first computer. Had the strong of hot plastic smell. Yeah, I don't like that smell.
You don't?
The
I
hot
love that
plastic
smell, actually. It's like an indicator that this is fresh for me.
What do you think of the idea of Killer Ronald McDonald movie where a guy used to work for McDonald's? Yeah, that movie's never gonna make it because it's gonna have lawsuits from McDonald's. Because that is gonna leave a huge dent on their brand image, especially to kids.
Yeah.
They're never gonna let that happen. It's like a serial killer movie based on Colonel Sanders. KFC is not gonna let that happen.
It might be amazing though. I would love where it's Colonel Sanders versus the fucking clown from McDonald's.
Yeah, that would actually be cool. Yeah. That would be awesome.
The movie should be called The War.
You will be my next secret sauce.
No, War of the Fast Foods. You wanted to know KFC's secret ingredient? It's human beings, bitch, not chicken. And okay, so about ghosts, listen here. Why are there concepts about trained ghosts and human ghosts and dog ghosts, but there are never stories about dinosaur ghosts? Because I feel like we always find horror in what's familiar to us, Z. Like dinosaur is like in itself such far away from us that I don't think we really necessarily like see that as horror right away. We always try to find horror in things that are close to us. Are there any werewolf legends in Korea? Not werewolves though. We have a lot of
bear. Like ZZ mentioned, you know, we have like a folklore where a bear and a tiger, bear and a tiger, they were on a mission to becoming a human, so they had to eat a lot of garlic and mugworts.
No, but if he's talking about horror, it's usually a tiger that steals the baby or whatever, because Korea apparently was populated with tigers before the 20th century.
Yeah, and panthers too.
Yeah, but now they're all gone, at least in South Korea. So maybe in North Korea they still have it, but a lot of our horror stories have to do with like tigers stealing kids and hunting them, and the theory goes that it was very likely like a real threat. And bears before you ate them all. No, like bears. Listen, guys, bears are one of the most excessive species ever.
We still have bears in the wild.
Yeah, there's no werewolf legends in Korea. Because the wolves, I think you have to go to certain regions to see that. I think for wolves to thrive, there needs to be a lot of plains. You know. That's
true.
Yeah,
but we have a very what's the word?
Mountainous.
Yeah, mountainous region. 70% of our land is basically mountains.
Yeah, well, ours is more for subterfuge and like bear attacks.
And that's why we have a lot of tigers, because tigers live in mountains. That's why their body's so, you know, like well balanced.
I read that bears were exterminated in Korea. Zezzy, I'm sorry to say this, but Koreans, we exterminate everything on our path.
We have something called the moon bear, 지리산 반달곰.
No, but fuck that. We exterminate everything. Different races, bees. If you're a fucking frog in our way, we fucking exterminate you. Like we are the most brutal like animal in this land. Like the only thing we left alive is gorani, like these like cute ass deers that are no threat to us. But if we get a whiff that you're dangerous, we're gonna fucking kill you. Like that's what Koreans do.
Or if we get the whiff that it's healthy for man's stamina, then we eat everything. If somebody says, like cockroaches are good for men's stamina, I mean those cockroaches are going extinct.
Every snake in Korea was killed by some Korean guy who thought that was going to help them like get their dick up.
And they found a lot of creative ways to cook them and eat them and even drink them.
Make them alcohol,
put
them
them
soup.
in this like big jar of alcohol.
And then afterwards they're like, oh shit, all the steak I got, too bad. It's just like fucking forget about it. Do you think there are any ghost whales out there in the oceans that they like they're a human ghost? That's a very loaded question, Walker.
That's creepy. A ghost whale. You know what this reminds me of? Have you played the game, the old arcade game called Bubble Bubble?
Yeah, of course.
And you know, like the boss is this ghost whale.
Yeah.
Like the skeleton whale. Yeah, that it reminds me of that.
No, Scott Walker, I think this is what happens. I think because the whales, like, they gather information very differently from us. I think they're more sound reliant than us because of the nature of the ocean, where you cannot see everything visually. I think, like, a lot of whale bones under the sea will make sounds that the other, like, whales can hear. I think they will have a different kind of terror and dreams and like sympathetism towards their own species. Because you got to remember, humans, for us, it's really visual.
Yeah.
And terror from other like senses of us like comes from us not knowing entirely, but visual is in the end the king.
Every night when I hear a plane flying over my house, I ran out to my backyard and watch the plane every time. Makes it magic. Yeah, I think I can kind of understand what you feel.
Yeah.
And especially like Joe said, if it's up close, even at night, that'll be so cool.
It is.
You know, there are YouTube channels dedicated on filming these like airplanes landing.
Really?
Yeah. I think the guy lives near an airport or something. No, and thousands of people watch this.
No, but it's amazing because it is a miracle, though.
I just reminded myself like what other noise I enjoy. I enjoy the sound of a car inside. You know, when you're driving and then you hear this like drone from the engine, and you know when you're turning on the turn signals, you know it kind of clicks like.
Are you trying to tell me that you have sex with your car? That sounded very sexual.
That sound is also very soothing. So that's another sound that I really like. So it gives me peace.
Please don't tell me that you have sex with your washing machine too. Every time it cleans, all the laundry coming out, fucking smells like spectacular. No, but I get it though, because you're a car aficionado. I think what you just described has to do with like control. Like you know how we find things that we are used to very happy. Because when I wake up, like when I had a dog, I loved hearing my dog bark. It just meant the day is going on as I thought it would. So the car thing probably has to do with that too. Like everything is functioning as it should, I think.
Yeah.
Do you think ghost trains exist? Oh man, that's a hard question. I like the spun of a car from inside when I drive through snow. Yeah, I mean that's true.
Oh yeah, and also stepping on snow. That sounds also.
That's more like our power thing, I bet. This car dominates these snows. Do you think ghost train exists? That has to do with the question. Do you think ghosts exist? Won-Jin, I'm sorry. I'm gonna reveal you to our subscribers. You believe in ghosts, don't you?
I do now.
Oh man, let's do this next time. This is a dark tale, guys. I'm not gonna spoil this, so we're gonna talk about this in the next podcast. Did you just see how serious this motherfucker's face got? It's a very dark tale. Yeah. No. Also, the sound of my boyfriend snoring, so soothing, pure therapy. What about him farting? oh, the pillow. It depends. Like, that's a good conversation. Like, bed partner. I'm getting old because I can tolerate anything. You know how, like, the most beautiful and handsome people snore at night crazily? like an elephant getting choked. So, anyway, guys. I mean, Won-Jin's ghost story will have to wait for another day. It's a very terrifying story that I have heard, but I'm so sorry, Won-Jin, to put you on the spot.
It's not that terrifying.
No,
creepy.
Do not share that fucking story. It's very dangerous for the world. I'm a little embarrassed this week. I've got my first glasses, and my father says I look very good with them because I started to notice I couldn't see things for a long distance. Can you give me advice?
stop using too much. I mean, stop spending too much time on your smartphones.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are grown up suddenly have bad vision.
Yeah.
It's mostly due to smartphones, and it happens usually when you're using smartphones while you're moving.
Yeah.
So like in buses or cars, you have these like micro vibrations all the time. You think you're staying focused on what you're seeing, but you're actually not. Your eye is constantly making these endless adjustments to stay focused. Yeah. That gives tremendous strain to your eyes. So don't do that.
Yeah. I would add to that, everything Scott, like Won-Jin said, is true. Scott Walker, when you walk, try to look at the distance.
Yeah.
Try to look as far away as possible when you walk, and trust on your feet. And cause I know exactly what you're going through, because I have that same problem. My eyes are all fucked up. I probably can't even punch someone even in front of me because of my visual fuck up from age. But you gotta try to. The only way through that is practice. You gotta practice. But anyway, the night is full of terrors,
and our belly's hungry.
Yeah. So I can't see a thing without my glasses from distance. Yeah, that's see. Me and Won-Jin, we're in the same boat as you. Anyway, guys, if you meet a ghost train, run. If a plane is crashing down, run. And if Won-Jin is near you and getting horny over cars, please stay away. What the fuck was the other one beside the car you got horny
the computer sounds.
Oh, right. So for Won-Jin, the computer is the wife and the car is the mistress. I'm just fucking with you. Hey guys, we're on the same time zone now. Oh shit! Welcome to Korea.
Welcome.
Hey, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. And before we end, me and Won-Jin, we would like to extend our gratitude to all of you, and kindly ask you to press like and subscribe if you like our shit. Next week, we'll be back with likely Dune Part 2 or the Netflix spy show. I hope my dorm room is not haunted, yeah. Don't worry, at least the full moon is very bright here in Australia tonight. Oh, shit. Good. I love watching the full moon too, Skywalker. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please press like and subscribe if you like our shit. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I was Joe.
I was Won-Jin.
We'll see you next week. Bye. If I was born a rapper.
I see dead people.
If I was born a rapper, I would get a gold chain and strangle my dog.
What?